Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little drop, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeling for you like you good crack. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 61 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. I'm your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and I got somebody special for you tonight, known as Big Felon or Felon with Firearms. I'm bringing you a brother straight out of Richmond, Virginia. Listen to this, y'all. He's a felon who managed to go through the process and get his firearms rights back. We're going to introduce you to him and let you hear his story and also listen to how you might be able to apply this to your situation. But first, let's check out the sponsors for this episode. First off, Reaper Apparel Co. As you can see in the ticker below, you can use my code Sergeant WarDawg TV and receive 10% off your entire order from Reaper Apparel Co. Next, we have Peace for Warriors. If you are a veteran who seems to have lost your path or lost your purpose in life, Peace for Warriors is an organization that takes veterans to volunteer around the world. You can check Peace for Warriors out at peaceforwarriors.org. I will be joining Peace for Warriors next March as we head to on a trip to the Philippines, where we will volunteer, or I will volunteer, to help build a school in a village just north of the Subic Bay. And finally, First Form and First Form Outdoors. Remember, First Form is a fitness supplement company. So if you need any extra energy to boost you during your outdoor adventures, your hunting, your camping, your shooting, be sure to check out First Form. All right, now, without further ado, I welcome you to the big screen. Big Felon with firearms. What's happening with you?
What's happening, WarDawg? What's going on?
Oh, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. I'm glad we were able to get you on the show, man. We got a lot of people interested in what you have to say and in possibly helping their own situations out, bro, to be real with you.
Absolutely.
All right. Absolutely. Now, why don't you give us your background, whatever you are willing to share, that is.
All right, so my biggest thing, like my mission, my agenda come from my passion. Either taking my travels through life, you try to figure out what your purpose is in life, and out of everything that I've done or experienced or accomplished throughout my life, nothing has been more satisfying than being able to help other people change their lives for the better. And it started for me when I first got my gun rights restored. And I ended up helping a buddy out. And once he was successful, you know what I'm saying, I helped a few other people out. And once they became successful at the same thing, the personal satisfaction of knowing I did something to help their life, regardless of what it was, no matter how small or big, that's what fulfilled my soul. And so that's what made me start pushing this agenda here.
All right. Now, how long you been at it, bro?
Since March 6, 2020, because that was the day I got my gun rights back. March 6, 2020.
All
So
right.
since then, I've been a one-man army trying to spread the message via YouTube, via in person, any way possible, even to the point now where I got a few published books to help spread the information.
That's what's up. That's what's up for real, bro. Now, how comfortable are you with talking about what got you to need to get your rights restored?
Oh shit, I'm comfortable. So anybody who may have already purchased one of my books would know that my full criminal background is disclosed in all my books. So 2021, I was convicted of malicious wounding. And then 2023, I was convicted for distribution of a Schedule 1 or 2. So 2 felonies, 1 violent. And each time I was incarcerated, it just made me sit down and think, got away from the distractions, got away from the intoxicants, and just had nothing to do but sit there and sharpen the biggest utensil on your body, your brain. I realized then that the things that I was doing, they weren't conducive to my life. You know what I'm saying? That's when I developed skills like finding self-love, emotional intelligence, being able to make better decisions for myself, to put myself in better situations.
Yeah. All right now. So tell us now, what got you, put you on this one-man mission to want to help other individuals around the world, around the country, get their rights restored?
Well, it started here. It started with me. Once I got my gun rights back and knowing the severity of my offenses, knowing that, pardons is one things that most convicted felons have issues with housing. Most convicted felons have issue with finding jobs because of their criminal past. So once I was able to put myself in a position where I no longer have to worry about these past judgments, I was like, damn, let me expose this information to the rest of the people, because what really fueled me to do it was the very first time I attempted to get my gun rights back, I used an attorney, and that attorney charged me $2,000 the first time, and I was denied. So then I added to my resume, I fortified myself, but then I decided to try again, and I decided to use the same attorney because I chose to reciprocate within the Black community. It was a female attorney, and when I reached back out to her, she wanted $1,500. So
For real,
I was like, why would I pay you another $1,500 for another possibility when I just got told no? I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. My stints incarcerated, I've always been into reading, and I've always went to the law library. So I'm like, you know what? I can figure it out. And once I figured it out, and once I was able to help those 2 close friends of mine that I mentioned, I decided to, spread this information to the rest of everybody, because it don't cost $10,000, $20,000 to get it done. Is some states cheaper than none. Like here in Virginia, it's only $86 to petition the court. And I want most people in urban communities or environments that go through these same obstacles and hurdles don't have a whole lot of money. So I decided to do my best to make this information available to the people who I feel need it.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot, bro. So what was the very first step that you had to take on your own once you decided, hey, I want to get my rights back? Where does a person go from there?
I'm gonna speak on Virginia.
Yeah,
I'm gonna speak on Virginia because I'm here in Virginia. So your book
does let you know about all the other states.
Yeah, right? Each book. So like the book in that video there, this is the book just for Virginia. So this book specifically breaks down the process for Virginia, but then I included a chart in the book that has the case laws and what the application is for every single state. But it would take the individual to be able to utilize those case codes in that book. But I also have a book that includes every single state. And in that book that has the information for every single state, it's a 500-page book. That's this one here. It's a 500-page book, and it goes into detail on who you need to contact, where you need to send information to, what background check you need to pull. It goes into detail on everything. But here in Virginia, the very first thing you need to do is be off probation. Get terminated from probation, because from my experience, every person that has been on probation, one of the stipulations in their guidelines is that they cannot possess or be in the circumference of a firearm. So if that's a restriction of your probation, you got to clear that first. You cannot be around them as a felon, one, and you cannot be around them if you're on probation. That'll violate your probation or parole. And then the second step would be to have your civil rights restored, because you can't petition the courts for your Second Amendment if you don't even have your civil rights. Your civil rights is most important, and it's the very first step. The second step, I'm sorry, is the second step to it all. If you can't vote, if you can't hold public office, if you can't be a notary, you cannot petition for to have your gun rights back.
Really? I didn't know it was going down like that, bro.
Yeah. And then, so the second part is to have your civil rights restored. And then the third thing that I would say is, what you got to prove your rehabilitation. You know what I'm saying? Have you, for example, I'm going to use me. So since my release from incarceration, my first task I did once I was released was welding. So I'm a certified welder. I got all my OSHA certifications. And that's something that I use to add to my resume to show that I'm being productive and adding to society. But that didn't work for me in life. So then I tried something else, which was bodybuilding and personal training. So I got 2 personal training certifications. But again, if we talking about the monetary aspects of life, personal training here in Virginia is not that lucrative. It's not enough to get me the things that I decided I wanted in life. So the third thing I did, which all of these things add to my resume, was I got my CDL. And so when you talk about proof of rehabilitation, I got the 2 personal training certifications, I got my welding certificate, I got my CDL, I got my hazmat endorsement. All of these things that I put down in my petition to show that I'm out here working hard and busting my ass. And so when I wrote my petition up, I included all these things to show that I'm a contributing member to society.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I'm proud of you, bro.
I appreciate it.
I know, we all know people who don't come out as hungry as you do. You know what I'm saying? They don't come out as hungry to, get that CDL and start another career, or as hungry to, put in the time, the effort, and the money that it takes to get their gun rights restored like you did. So I really want to salute you on that.
I appreciate
let you know how proud I am for you for that.
I appreciate it, brother. It's a real fight, like. The one thing I learned while incarcerated, you got to learn to accept no, and that's a problem that I see amongst me and my community. Like we have a hard time accepting no, but again, like I said, using that time incarcerated, I decided to interpret that as a transitional skill. So I felt like the whole time I was being mistreated by staff. So what do? You grieve, and then when your grievers come back, if you don't like that answer, you grieve again. You go to their hierarchy. You go past them. And so using those things, I now came out to society. So where, like I said, I got denied my first time attempting to get my gun rights. But I won't discourage, because how many times I got denied a grievance while incarcerated? So I just kept fighting.
Okay.
And that's what I encourage everybody else to do. You know what I'm saying? It's possible for most felony convictions to get their gun rights back, but will it happen the very first time? I can't say yes. But once If you're denied, don't get discouraged. You got to learn to surmount one failure and move to the next without being discouraged. You know what I'm saying? And that's the agenda that I push. Like the people who I personally help myself, you know what I'm saying? I tell them I'll do it 100 times for you. If you want me to do it for you, if you get denied the first time, add a few more things to your resume. Fortify what you got. Get online and take some of these free courses that give you certificates and add it to it. And you want to do it again? We're gonna go at it again. Like we're gonna do it 150 times, 200 times, 1,000 times. I don't care. Because I learned how to accept no without being discouraged. And I'm trying to encourage others to do the same.
It sounds like you learned patience too, bro.
I think
You
I
learned the
did.
art of patience for real.
I think I might have did.
That things will come in due time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, can you walk us on? What's that third step?
It was the proof of rehabilitation, and that was the things that I was mentioning. I was giving examples of what you got because people may not know what to give. Also, for the people who have been incarcerated, like don't think that rehabilitation starts once released, because I also used everything that I obtained while incarcerated. I took anger management classes, I took substance abuse classes, I took cognitive reasoning classes, um I took relationship group, and each one of these groups, they took a stint of time, but each one of these groups gave me certificates, and I included all of that in there as well. So anything that you got on paper, documentation that you have accomplished, no matter how minute you may believe it to be, that's something that you use to prove your rehabilitation. And then here in Virginia, the final step after you got those things, after you got your release of probation document, after you got your civil rights restored, after you got all your proof of rehabilitation, you petition the courts. And that's the hard part. Because you got to know what case law you arguing, um, what grounds you got based on the requirements to get them back. And then you got to be able to be confident and comfortable with disclosing your full criminal background, because if you don't and they ask you about it in your presentation, then 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get denied, you're gonna get caught up, you're gonna stutter, you're not gonna know what to say. But me, like I said, I fully disclose mine in every book, just like I fully disclose mine in front of the judge. They tried to use me being a violent felon as there are major reasons as to why I don't deserve my gun rights back. And my argument was, yes, I'm a violent felon, or was a violent felon, but since then, I bought a house. Here's the deed to my house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got all these accolades, these personal training certifications. I got my hazmat endorsement. And for those of y'all who are listening, my truck drivers who may be in similar situations, that hazmat endorsement and that TWIC card, if you're looking to petition for your gun rights, is the biggest attribute, because that endorsement gives you federal regulation to carry 9,000 gallons of explosives, radioactives, corrosives. This backdoor information I'm giving. If I got the federal clearance to carry 9,000 gallons of explosives, why can't I carry one?
True that, bro. I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
And so,
yeah,
that's it. And you know, every state varies. Every state has different case laws. Every state has different regulations. And a few people from out of state had purchased my book for Virginia, and they was like, I got the information, but I don't understand what to do. And that's what made me make this series that I did. I made this series based on my career. I'm a truck driver full time. So I got a book for Virginia, but then I got a book for the Southeast region. I got a book for the Northeast region. I got a book for the Southwest region. And then I got a complete guide. And my reasoning behind it is because that's how we drive as truckers. We drive in regions. You got a driver that's OTR. You got a driver that's strictly Northeast. You got drivers that's Southeast. And so that made it easier for me to get this information out there, as well as still do my full-time job. So that's why I broke it down to regions like that. But like I said, each state is different, and each state has different regulations, and it's broken down into very detailed in these books. I've and some of the other states other than Virginia that I've successfully helped. I've successfully helped New York, a state where they say can't have guns. I successfully helped California, another one of the hardest states. I've helped Georgia successfully, Ohio successfully. Hmm.
Okay, hold on. So these are true. These are actual felons in these states that you help get their rights restored.
Absolutely, not just their rights, but their Second Amendment, and some of them, were pardons, meaning they no longer have judgment from these felony convictions. So one of the things that
Oh,
I've had a few people who didn't get their gun rights back, and they badmouthed me, but they got pardoned, and I want to put emphasis on your platform about this. So I tried to explain to the guys once they calm down that, of course, I'll do it again when you're ready to, but don't be mad that you didn't get your gun rights back. You got a pardon, bro. Because when you think about some of the issues that they vent to me about was they can't get good employment. But now that they have this pardon, when they go apply for any career that they choose, that they deserve, they no longer have that judgment. So now you putting your family, if you have children, or you putting yourself in a better position to succeed in life. You know what I'm saying? Relieving stress, which is one of the big things Black men go through and don't have outlets for. So you're not only relieving stress, you're putting yourself in a better financial situation, which money isn't everything, but that's one of the major stress factors in people. So then, he can now get a better career, as well as housing. That's an issue that people have that has felony convictions. Now he can apply for whatever loft, condo that he may want. Oh, that day was hilarious. That day right there was hilarious. So
I do remember seeing this. I saw this the day you posted it. I do remember that.
So check this out. So a lot of people, the commentary on that video was horrible. A lot of people told me I was picking on that officer, but they don't know that's one of the officers that patrol my neighborhood every day. He's a asshole, right? But that particular day, I was walking to the store and I had my pistol in my back pocket around my holster. Dumb, wasn't secure, but I had my pistol in my back pocket, and he stopped me and he was like, do you got a permit for that? You know what I'm saying? What's in your pocket? Let me get your ID, whatever the case may be. And so I took that as an opportunity to market. He stopped me. I gave him my concealed carry permit, my ID, and he couldn't do nothing about it. And so I took that moment as a chance to market the information. But I guess because I don't know, but the rest of the commentary, they was just like, you picking with the officer, he's a good cop, or whatever the case may be. No, dude's an asshole, and dude just got embarrassed because he pulled up on somebody that he knew from the neighborhood as a convicted felon, but didn't know that his gun rights was restored.
Damn, that's what's up, bro. You are in a privileged position, bro, to be one of the people that can go back to the police and tell them, nah, I am a felon, but I got my rights restored. You were in a real privileged position right there, bro.
And I had and that's all, and that's the only thing I was spreading the information in that video. I was like, officers will quickly radio in, we got a felon, possession of a firearm, etc. But they won't tell you that, oh, if you want your gun rights restored, if you want to be legal, just go petition the courts. They won't share that. And that was my whole message in that video. Like, this guy ran down on me, pulled up on me, and the only thing I said was, well, why don't y'all radio that or share to the people? If your position as a public servant is to protect the community, protecting community is not just physical, it's mental and emotionally as well. And that officer, big country, he knew that you could petition the courts because in our dialect, he said it. And I'm like, well, why don't you share this information with the rest of the people? You know what? It's not your job, your duty, but guess who's gonna do it? I'm gonna do it.
That's right. Now, I got one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
One question out of the chat was asking, can you appeal to out-of-state case law and president in other states?
Can you appeal to out-of-state case law to presidents in other states? It will be based on the jurisdiction that you live in. Some states will allow you to satisfy out-of-state convictions within your state. Two states that I know offhand is Texas and Louisiana. Those two states, when you're filling out the pardon application or the clemency application, it has the question on there: do you have convictions from other states? And you will put yes, and it's your job to get the the criminal background from those states to provide, because everything that you talk about when applying for these things, you have to prove by documentation, and it has to be certified documentation. But again, it varies based on the states. It's not a lot of states that do that, but the two off the top of my head that I know is Texas and Louisiana. Most states make you satisfy with that state, whether you got to get a certificate of relief or disability before you can actually apply in your state. But it's possible, yes.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask what I know many people want to know. Do you feel they have to have a lawyer in order to get their rights restored?
Absolutely not. And in the beginning of this video here, I explained the very first time I attempted to get my gun rights back, I paid a lawyer $2,000, but I was denied. And then when I reached back out to that lawyer wanted $1,500. And I like I said no. It's like, why would I pay you that much money for another possibility? So at that moment, that's when I decided to do my due diligence and research and find what I needed to do to petition the courts. So it's not necessary, but if you're not confident in your ability to present laws and stand your ground as an individual, then yes, I would encourage you. I don't discourage nobody from getting a lawyer, but me personally, when it comes to defending myself, knowing the law is very important. And if you know the law, you got every right to defend yourself pro bono. So I'm the person that encouraged the DIY, do it yourself.
Bet. I like that, bro. I really like that. Now, how about a lot of people want to know about the cost, about expenses, about how much, if you can give them any kind of roundabout idea of how much that you think this might cost in their particular state.
That I can't do, because each state is different.
Can't give them.
Like here in Virginia, like I stated, in Virginia, if you know your case codes and your laws, when you go to petition the court, it only costs $86. But then, and the criminal background check in Virginia is $20. So that's $106. But in other states, they have different filing fees. It's based on the filing fees to that clerk. You know what I'm saying? So some states I've seen $300 to file. You know what I'm saying? And here in Virginia, it's only $100 to file. But one thing I do know for sure is filing yourself is much cheaper than an attorney. And you could file yourself 10 times before you pay what you would pay an attorney. And that's why I encourage the DIY.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, do you mind giving us some examples of others that you were able to help in other states?
Let me go to the book, because everything that I've done successfully, I've documented in the complete guide.
Okay.
But like, I know a guy here in Virginia, he had 11 B&Es. And I know this guy. I know this guy personally. He owns a carpet cleaning company. He owns a tow truck company. You know what I'm saying? And he was young when he did the crime. And I believed in him that he was rehabilitated. And I watched people. So everything that he done since his release of incarceration showed that he was a noble guy. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this information that I possess and try to help this brother. And we were successful. But so this document that I got here is not going to show up good. But this is the state of Georgia. It's on all my social media platforms. This person was convicted to 4 years probation and fined $1,000 for Controlled Substance Act. You know what I'm saying? And this guy that I got over here, this document over here, this I'm glad I seen this one, because this is an example of the person I asked about the precedence of other state laws. So this guy right here is a resident of Arkansas, but his convictions were, no, I'm sorry, he's a resident of Texas, Garland, Texas, but his conviction was in Arkansas, and it's another felony distribution and battery of the 2nd degree felony. And he was able to have his state proclamation to have his gun rights restored. So this is a violent offender that lives in Texas who had convictions in Arkansas that got his gun rights restored. So, you know what I'm saying? It varies. And like I said, in New York, I believe the guy in New York had distribution. But it really don't, I'm not gonna say it don't matter the crime. What matters most is that you take the time to do the paperwork and show these people that you're serious about your life. That's what's most important. Ain't nobody gonna get nothing to you. You gotta go get it yourself. And even if you don't get it the first time, you gotta think about, look at it from the aspect of being a child when you first rode that bike. Like when you first got on that bike, you didn't get it right the first time without the training wheels. How many times you failed before you actually got it right? You got to look at life from that same perspective. It's people like me, myself. I went twice before I got my gun rights back. There's other people that done went 3 and 4 times. You know what I'm saying? But persistence is the key. And like you said, patience.
All right. That's what's up. How about another one?
I got another one right here. This is New York. State of New York Certificate of Relief, and it specifically says relieve the holder of a fortuitous disabilities and hereby enumerated. Relieve holder of the automatic disqualification of a license to carry, possess, or dispose of a firearm under NY Penal Law 400.001 as a result of the conviction. This person was in Albany, New York, Albany County, New York, and his criminal offense was possession of marijuana. So, and when me and this guy worked, we got it on the first try. You know what I'm saying? Marijuana is not a violent offense. That was in 2021. Marijuana is not a violent offense, and that brother, he stayed out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? He had many accolades. He started his own business. He had a plethora of letterheads from charitable things that he'd done within the community. Because in most states, well, pretty much everywhere, your Second Amendment is an issue of public safety. But when you can work with the community and get the community on your side, that shows that you're not a threat to public safety. And that's what that guy did. That guy in Albany, New York, he's big in the community. He do so much in the community.
All right. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Now, you mentioned your social media outlets. Can you go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on social media? Okay,
so here I got my YouTube as my name here. YouTube is Felon with Firearms. But then I have a TikTok, you know, and TikTok is doing well. But most of the things that you need to find me, if you just hashtag Felon with Firearms, I'm gonna pop up. But my TikTok is Felon with Firearms 804. My Instagram is Devin_the_dude TH. But also there, if you hashtag Felon with Firearms, you will find me. All you got to do is look for the success stories. You go on there, you see somebody that got their gun rights restored, I guarantee you it came from me. I guarantee you they worked with me.
All right. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So, what can people expect from Big Felon in the future? You got anything else going on? Anything you want to let people know about?
repetitiveness, just repetitiveness, man. The consistency. Like I what I don't do well is stick to one platform. You know what I'm saying? Like my YouTube, I haven't been on my YouTube in a while. I've been more on Instagram and TikTok. But one thing about me is I'm going to post content somewhere, somehow. And the things that I found most prominent, or the things that I'm most proud of as recently, is my book series. Because the reason behind the book series is, like, people on the outside that's not incarcerated, they got access to social media. They got access to seeing me in person. But what about the people that's incarcerated who don't know this information is available? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I made the book series, so I can get books into DOC. And that's what I'm working on currently.
Oh,
I've had a few
shit,
books.
bro. I like that. You okay?
I've had a few books get into DOC, but then I've also had my books placed on the bar list. And it's it's fucked up. And I was wondering why. When I remember while I was incarcerated, I was reading Nikki Turner, Donald Goins, and these books had guns and drugs on the cover. So for a minute, I was thinking that the reason that they rejected my books was because of some of my book covers may have a gun. Like my book for the Southwest region, it got a certificate saying the gun rights were restored, and it got a gun on top of it. But then I thought about it, like, what about the material that I was reading while incarcerated? It's not that. It's the actual information. Prison and jail is supposed to be a place of rehabilitation, but why not allow information that's helping people rehabilitate themselves come in? So I'm trying to figure out a way around that. And right now I am working with a few people who's getting my books reviewed. They're actually looking at the information in the book versus just looking at the cover. And hopefully that go through. But that's the biggest accomplishment that I'm most recently proud of, is the books, because when I get off that truck every other week, I look online and I was picking random inmate numbers and sending them books. But that has slowed down. That has slowed down because they have started rejecting the books. And I'm hoping that the people that I'm dealing with now, who has my material under review, allow it in so that I can continue to put their books in there. Because you got to think about it. Those people who are incarcerated, you know what I'm saying? What can encourage them to come home and do better? What can encourage them to come home and make better decisions other than proof? You know what I'm saying? The proof is, if you can get some material now and you can see my full criminal background, you can see that I'm a violent felon, a 3-time convicted felon. But then you can see all the things that I've accomplished, and I successfully got my gun rights back and others. That would encourage those people that's incarcerated. Like, you know what? It can be done. If dude can do it, I can do it. Dude, a violent felon. If big fella can do it, I can do it.
Okay. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Well, I can't thank you enough, man, for taking time out of your schedule to come explain everything to people the way you have. I'm extremely proud of you as a black man, being able to get your rights restored. I'm proud of you and the time and the dedication that you put in towards ensuring that you followed all of the steps. And I'd actually got a chance to see you on YouTube for your very first range day after you got your rights restored. And I wanted to ask you about that because it looked like you were having a lot of fun.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. My first range day was the day I purchased my first firearm. That day felt, you know what I'm saying, the euphoric feeling that I got from that day was better than when I bought my house. You know what I'm saying? Up. And buying my house was a major accomplishment, but getting my rights restored and going in the range, it felt better. You know what I'm saying? Because I had this stigma on my life since I was a juvenile. I've been a felon since a juvenile. So to now, here I am. I've been a felon since I was 13. to be able to legally possess a firearm in 2020, since then, that was one of the best feelings of my life. That was my biggest accomplishment.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
And
I'm glad you finally did get that range day that you deserve. So you can finally let off and let some of that steam off, and then just enjoy the everything that comes with shooting sports again, man. Real proud of you for that.
appreciate it, man. And like for the individuals that want this information, it's like I said, other than my social media platform, all the books are on Amazon. So the information is readily available. Everything can be found for the people who got the ability to do the research themselves, or the ability to follow the instructions and get it done. Man, y'all go get the book off Amazon. Just look up Felon Gun Rights Restoration. It changes lives. Even, again, I'm gonna put emphasis on, even if you don't get your gun rights back, just being able to get a pardon makes a major difference in people's lives.
Bet that.
And
tell again on Amazon. I'm gonna put it up in the chat.
Felon Gun Rights Restoration.
All right.
Man, and I appreciate, I appreciate you seeing the substance in what I do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people bypass it. I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing it since 2020, and I'm not mad at those who bypass it, but a lot of people do. I get so much flack. It's so many people who dislike the fact that I help convicted felons get their gun rights back. They talk so bad about us, but it's like, we're people. Everybody's made a poor decision, but not everybody's been caught. You know what I'm saying? So just because I got convicted of a malicious wounding, don't mean that the next man ain't get, ain't do something that broke the law as well. But I got caught. But I've did my time. I've contributed back to society. I've paid my taxes, and I've proven that was just a poor decision. That don't mean I don't got the right to defend myself. That don't mean I don't got the right to feed my family. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, big fella. This has been a real good talk. I'm sure you open the eyes and the minds of a lot of people that have been wondering how could they get their gun rights restored. I appreciate all your efforts. Like I said, I'm real proud of you, boss. I wish you nothing but the best, future success, whatever you find yourself into, especially in terms of extending your business and your platform and your books as an author. It's all commendable, bro.
Thank you.
Commendable. All right, everyone. This has been Big Felon with Firearms on the WarDawg Trail, episode 61. And you see him showing off the merch to you. Yeah, you see him showing off the merch to you. Hey, I have his store in the chat. It's pinned at the very top. If you want to grab any of his merchandise, go ahead and hit that link at the top of the chat box and check him out, man. Support him. He's doing something real in our community, in our neighborhoods, and he's doing it across the country, helping felons get their gun rights restored. All right. Thanks again, big fella. You take it easy, bro. It's been a good time having you on the show.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, boss. Salute. All right, taking you back to today's sponsors. First off, we had Reaper Apparel Co. Remember, just as you see in the ticker below, you can use my code Sergeant WarDawg TV for 10% off your entire order. Reaper Apparel Co. Next, Peace for Warriors. If you happen to be a veteran who's struggling with your life's purpose or your life's mission, take a look at Peace for Warriors, because they take veterans to volunteer around the world. I will be joining Peace for Warriors next March 2024 as they go to repair a school in a village just north of the Subic Bay in the Philippines. So, peaceful warriors. And finally, First Form and First Form Outdoors. Remember, First Form is a fitness supplement company. So if you're needing any type of boost to help you get through your outdoor adventures, hunting, camping, shooting, fishing, look towards First Form and First Form Outdoors. All right, for more information, be sure to visit my website, SergeantWarDawgTV.com. Also, follow me on YouTube, Sergeant WarDawg TV. Like, subscribe, and follow us. And you can find most of my most current up-to-date information on my Instagram page at Sergeant WarDawg TV. I hope you enjoyed episode 61 of the WarDawg Trail, where we spoke with Big Felon with firearms, about gun restoration and having a felon's gun rights restored. All right, that'll conclude this episode. Salute.
Yeah. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bend, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little drop, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeding for you like you good crack. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bend, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, run it back.